Welcome to Invest. We talk about investing, finance, and professional. As the current time of 9:40 a.m. on the Eastern Time on December 31st on Saturday. Hope you guys had a great year. Today is the last day of 2022. Congratulations to all the ones that made it to this point. It's been an eventful year. Quite difficult for myself personally, but for a lot of people around the world. So I just want to say thank you for staying strong until this point, and also being diligent and studious to be with me today on to celebrating the last day of this year, if you may. And Ethereum is currently trading at $1,204, up about 0.4% so far. The overall crypto market is relatively, just oscillate on a sideways fashion, not really doing much. The technical perspective is still indicating that in a short-term perspective, we should ideally see some, normalization, selling off to a lower level, before we ideally ramp up by Q2, Q3, during that transitional period. And some of the catalysts that we've talked about based on our past 3-4 videos so far, we have kind of been repeating ourselves because the technical spectrum has been trading at a relatively comparable level at 1205 or just 1199. So we're not really moving, a big needle. We've just relatively been moving by 0.5 to the highest 1% up or down in that spectrum. Again, oscillating on a sideways fashion until we hear more macro specific news, right? The FOMC meeting, the CPI report that's coming out, how's the efficacy on the rate hikes been going so far, with respect to Q1 earnings, that we should be in for a surprise, hopefully not. With respect to the COVID situation, that seems like it's still being contained globally. China is still in the mid of a lockdown. A lot of people are still, struggling, suffering at the same time. And lastly, but not least, with respect to the FTX debacle, what are the repercussions that we should be expecting going forward? But last but not least, one more would be the tax season. So U.S. tax season falls around Q1. So what's the tax treatment that a lot of whales, a lot of institutional investors and retail investors are going to be acting on tax write-offs, reductions, maybe just writing off one of their investments in their portfolio altogether to kind of just like get rid of it. But by doing that, that means some liquidation events might be happening. So something we have to think about, right? But across the technical spectrum, nothing really driving a change in the needle. The media front is relatively stale today, which makes sense. It's the last day of the year. Everybody should be spending time with the family. So it's a shorter one than usual, but I just want to take this time in my last 1 minute to just say thank you for. It's rough to be firstly fundraising, investing, look at your portfolio, sustaining, helping my aging parents, while at the same time the world is like going up in smokes. But at the same time, for me, as the son of the family, I have to be strong. I have to be keeping my heads up, right? And part of the momentum driver for me to do what I'm doing every single day, which is quite is very raw and practical. And what I mean by that is that I am the forefront of everything that I'm doing. I am the one in charge, but sometimes I do hope to have someone that I can talk to. And part of me doing this every single day, in addition to just like making sure that I'm buttoned up on keeping myself in check with the current macro and microeconomics, but also it's because you guys spiritually support me, and I know some, and I take a notice of it, right? But it's been difficult because my YouTube channel has not been, growing, but I do see, people that are have been showing support, but it is what it is. Like, I'm not gonna, I'll try to do better. I'm not really a videographer or YouTube expert. I guess that's something I need to learn because maybe my style in my video is getting a little stale, and it seems like I'm kind of repeating myself. But that's part of the truth. Like, I'm just really raw, and I don't really, as you know, you've known me for quite some time, that I don't really know how to BS. Beside, like, maybe the icon on the YouTube video sometimes, because I just want to make something eye catching. But my content is relatively raw, and what I do is, because just in relatively, just across multiple aspects of life, it's like I pull my guts out to the world to show, this is what I know, this is how I can be helpful, and hopefully you guys take an interest in it and then find this to be instrumental for yourself as you're elevating the value for yourself. Like, my goal is to, hopefully empower as many underdogs as possible in my lifetime. And to do that, it takes a village, and part of it to propel me further is to have your support going forward. I know I was supposed to talk about this for 1 minute, but it's not the most structural, and it's been self-conflicting, and it's rough on me physically and mentally. Some days I do feel kind of down on myself, but I have to kind of push myself up, right? It's very self-triangulating, very self-motivating type of thing. I am my biggest cheerleader in everything that I'm doing, so I have to stay strong. But if it wasn't for you guys on supporting me, not just like watching me, supporting me, giving me great guidance, but also financially supporting me by subscribing to my Patreon, which is already extremely helpful. So I appreciate you very much. So that's it for the year. It's been rough. I will absolutely check in with you guys tomorrow, first day of 2023. So cheers to a good start. Cheers to our friendship and our love, and being so loyal. And yeah, it's my promise to you to stay strong and keep this up. So thank you so much. Take care.